Hey guys, so for this video, I'm gonna talk about how you can place higher in cash cups. You guys have been messaging me like crazy to make a video about this, and since it's been around 3 months since my last one, I feel like it's the perfect time to update it. Before I do that, however, I have to address the comment I know I'll see a ton of you little Timmies make that goes something like this.
But Jerian, how can you give us advice on cash cups when you haven't won any of them, you zero-earning noob?
My answer is pretty simple. I'm not a pro player. I'm a coach, an analyst, and a YouTuber. So while I may not finish top 10 in these events, I spend hours every single day watching people that do and compile everything I learn from them into these videos. Watch it if you want, I don't really care, I just know that it will help you out. With that being said, I'll shut my fat head up and get into the actual tips and tricks. First and foremost, I want to cover the entirely new format of the tournament. Yes, you heard that correctly. Epic completely changed the scoring system for solos. The way it used to work was you had a maximum of 10 games to play as well as 3 hours to compete in them. There were only 3 different placement tiers, not including winning the match, and each elimination was worth 1 point. Then, just a few weeks ago, Epic made the amazing decision to split the cash cup into 2 different rounds, have placement points start at top 75 with tons of additional placement tiers, and bump up eliminations to 2 points per kill. But of course, because Epic is Epic, they had to change it. How it's set at the time I'm making this video is you can only play 6 games in total, you only have 2 hours to play in them, and eliminations are worth a whopping 4 points a piece. And just in case Epic changes it again, I'll cover the point format for both eliminations being worth 4 points and if they get changed back to 2. Also, this entire video will be focusing on getting you guys out of the first round open qualifiers, as only the top 100 scoring players make it to the final round. Anyways, because of the way the current point system works, you're actually better off W keying than playing for placement. To show you guys why, here's the full breakdown of placement points for solos. You get 1 point for top 75, another point for top 50 as well as top 40, 2 points for top 30, top 20, and top 15, 3 points at top 10, 1 point for every place between 9th and 6th, 2 points for top 5, 1 point for top 4, 3 points for top 3, 4 points for top 2, and 7 points for a win. Not too shabby, right? You get way more placement points for making it to the top 10 compared to what you did in season 1. Wait a minute, didn't I say that W keying is better than trying to stay alive? Yes, I did. That's only if eliminations continue to be worth 4 points like they are now. If they somehow go back to being worth 2 points, then you should play for placement. To prove my point, let's say you play for placement on the current format and you make it to the top 9 with only 2 kills. That would net you a total of 13 placement points and 8 elimination points, making it 21 points in total. Well, what if instead you do what I say by W keying and trying to rack up kills? All you would need is an extra 2 kills, aka 4 kills in total, and to make it to the top 30, not the top 10, for the same amount of total points. That's insane, especially when you realize top 30 with 2 additional kills is way easier to reach than top 10 in these cash cups. Not to mention how many points you can rack up from one pop-off game alone. For example, if you play smart, avoid all fights, and consistently place top 10 in all 6 matches, you'd only end up with 72 points. Someone like UnknownxArmy, on the other hand, who takes every fight he can, would only need 2 9-kill games to get more points, and that doesn't even include any placement points from top 75 on. The final reason I recommend you W key is because everyone else in the game will be W keying as well. In case you guys haven't played in these 2-round cash cups yet, you should know the games are not that stacked. I remember watching Khanada's final match in the 2nd round, and there were barely 20 people left for the first moving zone. That may sound decent compared to Arena, but when you compare to Khanada's solo FNCS games with 50 people left alive, that's really bad. Those numbers alone prove nobody's playing for placement. Everyone is trying to fight each other to pick up eliminations because of how much they are worth. Additionally, because we only have 6 games to play, most good players know they need a big game to make it through to the next round. That means while you may be on your 4th game trying to play for placement, a bunch of your opponents will be on their final games trying to drop 20 bombs. That also means they're going to push you and grief your game regardless of how bad of a decision it may be. This never happened when you had 10 games total and 3 hours to compete. However, because Epic made the format very kill dependent, that's how your games will play out. All in all, I feel like I've talked enough about the format and how it's changed. All you really gotta know is that with eliminations being 4 points, you need to W key to place highly. If you don't and you play for placement and to win games, you'll not only get less points than W keyers, but there's a good chance they'll push you you for no good reason at all and kill you. At the same time, if Epic does go ahead and make eliminations worth 2 points like they had before, then you 100% should play for placement. Placing in the top 10 is huge now and way better than the marginal benefit from an extra 2 points per elimination. Oh, and before I forget, you can check how much each kill is worth through the compete tab. I have a weird feeling Epic might go and revert the changes since every pro and their mother has been complaining about it. At the moment I'm making this video though, nothing has been changed. So please don't take this as me telling you to play like an idiot. Obviously try to win games when you can and keep track of extra placement points you can get. Just be aware, placement is not what you should be playing for with today's 4-point per elimination format. Moving on, the next tips I have are to help you stop tilting. Tilting is a topic I brought up probably 5 or 6 times at this point. I've talked about what it is, why it works, as well as some different ways to try and prevent it. The one thing I haven't really talked about is what you can do to stop your anger and frustration from affecting your gameplay, because when you think about it, tilting is not the entire problem. It's the fact that your tilting leads you to play worse and not place as highly as you deserve. The first trick is a really simple one any of you guys can implement, and it's to be in a call with your friends or a coach. There's no denying solos is the most frustrating game mode in Fortnite. You don't have any teammates to rely on, you don't have anyone in the match to communicate with, and you don't have any way to effectively calm yourself down. That is, unless you have an in-game coach or a friend group you can talk to. Most top tier pros do not play tournaments and cash cups alone, even in solos. They are in Discord calls with other people to help ease their nerves. And I know this probably does not sound like anything new or groundbreaking to you, but since I'm an old boomer, I was honestly surprised with how many people do it. Whenever they need to focus, they just tell their friends to clear comms, while for the majority of the tournament, they're actively discussing the game and not losing their minds in silence. This is a much healthier way to keep your mental intact during solos. Even raging in front of your friends and having them laugh at you is 10 times better than doing the same thing in isolation. So if you're like me and you've been playing solo events alone this entire time, hop on a call with your friends, maybe some people in the comments, or hire a coach to help you perform better. Next tip I got from my boy Destiny Jesus is to chew gum while you play in cash cups. Gum has scientifically been proven to relieve stress by lowering your cortisol levels. It helps you stay alert and will make you less anxious and more calm. How does it do that? Well, like I just said, it helps you out by regulating your cortisol levels. You can think of your cortisol as your body's built-in alarm system. It works with certain parts of your brain to control your mood, motivation, and fear. Where it applies to Fortnite in this video is when you have too much cortisol and it all gets out of whack. This only happens when you're under a ton of stress and you just cannot calm yourself down, like if you started tilting mid-tournament. So what chewing gum does is it helps lower your cortisol levels that have been raised from getting griefed in-game and drastically reduce how long you tilt for. It may seem kinda weird and random, but go and try it out and let me know your results. The last and most difficult way to deal with tilt, but by far the best, is to think about the bigger picture. Way too many of you guys die in one of your first games and automatically think your tournament is over. The thing you're all overlooking, however, is that this couldn't be farther from the truth. All you need is one insane pop-off game to catapult yourself into the top 100. That's how crazy the current format is. So trust me, I understand how hard it can be to not give up in these tournaments. Competitive Fortnite is so incredibly frustrating sometimes. What you gotta realize though, is everyone else is playing the same game as you are. MrSavage is getting heavy sniped and triple dinked by controller players just as often as you are. He's just way better at seeing the bigger picture, resetting his mindset for the next game, and remembering one bad performance can never ruin your tournament, regardless of the format. To finish up the video, I'll do what I usually do by talking about how you can personally practice for cash cups. Outside of playing in cash cups themselves, the best thing you can do is grind arena. Not scrims or solo squads or zone wars, grind arena. Arena is the closest thing you can get to a solo cash cup match, especially if you're in champion division. There will be 15 to 20 people endgame, there will be a ton of fighting off spawn, and your opponents will be the exact same people you will play against in cash cups. In my opinion, the only time you want to grind out scrims like the pros do is if you can consistently make it out of the open qualifier, which, unless you're an absolute beast already, that is not very likely. That's why instead of playing zone rule scrims with stacked endgames, you're gonna play arena and get into as many fights as you can. The more fights you get into, the more confident you'll be for cash cups, and the less likely you'll die and get tilted. I suppose playing realistic 1v1s and doing wagers aren't bad practice either, since you are fighting people. I just think solo cash cup games are not like any other mode you can ready up for, except Arena. Also, one final thing before I sign off is to watch my W King video ASAP. So many of you guys have said the video has helped them out, plus due to the current format of the cash cups, it will give you a huge advantage over everyone else. Just don't let any of your opponents know you're a WavyJacob subscriber and you should win every game. Overall guys, that's everything you need to know to succeed in Fortnite Chapter 2 Season 2 Cash Cups. Hopefully Epic does not go and change the format too drastically for the sake of this video. If they do though, I think I did a pretty good job of explaining how to succeed with 2 points per elimination. So if you guys enjoyed my tips or you learned something new, do be sure to drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and to turn on post notifications. Shout out to everyone using code itsJerian. I'm gonna try to announce the giveaway winners next video and get into contact with all you lucky winners this week. I'll be doing it all on YouTube and not Twitter or Instagram, so please be patient. Otherwise, that's it from me, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.